Life is so complex. How do you know what to focus your time and energy on? Some guys spend most of their life focusing on video games. And while it's true that gaming can definitely teach you some things, it is not exactly the best way to spend most of your time. What you're about to learn are 4 things that every man should have conquered by age 30. And once you have conquered these things, you will undoubtedly be a far more attractive catch for females, but more importantly, a far more attractive catch to yourself. So with that said, let's start with number 1, the grand strategy. If you look at successful men, you will find that they always have some sort of strategy behind their actions. Men who operate at the highest level, whether it's in sports or some other profession, always have a grand strategy, or a game plan, so to speak, even if it's not clearly evident to those around them. Every man on the planet has a different strategy for how he approaches things in life, so while some guys prefer to immediately go on the attack or the offensive, others prefer to build defenses, and they prefer to win by wearing the enemy down over time. Each one of you has a different strategy for how you will approach things that you want to conquer in life, and knowing what your strategy is, or knowing what your own unique style is, or the way that you operate, is an incredibly powerful tool to have in your arsenal. Now, what most guys don't realize is that the same strategy that you use for video games also happens to be the same strategy that you will use for real life. And some of the most successful men in the world are shockingly good chess players. And since pretty much everything in life is kind of like a game of chess, you have to know your strategy and you have to know it well. Some of the best video games where I was able to hone my strategy that I now apply to real life are games like the Age of Empires, RuneScape, Command & Conquer. Every man by age 30 should know himself well enough to know what his strategy is, so this same strategy can be applied and adapted to all of the other aspects of his life. Some of you guys out there will prefer the blitz, where you immediately go in for the attack and go on the offensive, throwing metaphorical punches towards your goals and your enemies, while others prefer a slower, more balanced approach to winning. Knowing your strategy and knowing your personality is something that you absolutely must have conquered by age 30. And if you haven't, then it's definitely time to start working on it. Number 2, control. Most men, now more than ever before, are ruled by an invisible force. Most men are controlled by something that they can't even see. Many men out there would sell their soul for just a handful of things in life, and these are the same things that control the minds of most men without most men ever even realizing it. For some guys, they are controlled by greed, while others are controlled by Big Macs from McDonald's. Many guys out there end up falling into the rabbit hole of certain websites that won't be named, and before they know it, they're locking themselves in their room every night with their eyes glued to the computer screen, doing things that no man should really do. Now, self-control is the ability to control yourself, and while it sounds simple enough, it is the number one thing that stops most men from achieving the things that they want to achieve in life. Most people out there who are poor know that they shouldn't be spending their money on stupid things, and most people who are overweight know that they shouldn't be eating so much food. The problem is not that they don't know a better way or that they don't know what they're doing is bad. It's simply that they have lost all self-control. And self-control carries over, meaning when you lose control in one area of your life, it quickly spreads to other areas, and before you know it, you have lost all control over every part of your life. Self-control is one of the hardest things in life to master, but it also happens to offer the greatest rewards. Any man out there who can conquer himself can conquer pretty much anything in life. Because in life, as much as we want to blame other people and circumstances for our problems and for our shortcomings, it is usually ourselves who hold us back from achieving great things. A famous quote once said, "He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still." In life, we rarely ever have control over what other people do, but we always have control over what we do. And no man out there is impervious to vices because every man has them. But a man who has conquered self-control, especially by the age of 30, is almost unstoppable. Number 3, monetizable skills. In any RPG or similar video game, there is a long list of skills that you can train to get better at. And the better that you are at those skills, the more that you will get paid, whether it's in the game or in real life. And real life is no different. In life, you need to have skills, and when I say skills, I don't mean some useless degree for some useless skill that has no practical application in real life. Many of the wealthiest men in the world got so incredibly good at something or at one thing that they were able to make tens of millions of people part with their money to buy whatever it is that they are selling. Men who are carpenters, electricians, and engineers, they have real skills that they can monetize to make money. But it goes without saying that not all skills are created equal. So choose wisely when you are deciding what skills to master, because some skills will make you rich and others will keep you poor. You could spend your entire life becoming the best farmer in the world, but if your goal is to make $100 million or anything close to that, you'll most likely never accomplish this goal with the skills of a farmer. Men who don't have valuable skills are men who will be stuck working at grocery stores and pumping gas forever. By the age of 30, all men should have at least some monetizable skills, and ideally, you'll have one very valuable skill that you are very good at that you also love doing. Just like in a video game, it is better to focus all of your time and energy on one skill where you can become the best, rather than splitting up your focus to chase 5 or even 10 different skills where you'll only be mediocre at them. I've met many interesting guys who know a little about a lot of things, but they were all broke and they all couldn't make any money. So try to pick one monetizable skill and seek to enter the top 1% for that skill, but always make sure that it is a skill that will pay you well. Number 4, social skills. So many things in life are not awarded to the most qualified man, but rather to the most charming. As men, we need women in the same way that women need us. There's no way around the fact that a man who cannot communicate effectively with females is a very creepy man indeed. Something that all men should have conquered by the age of 30 is the ability to effectively interact with other human beings. So if you're one of those guys who just wants to sit in his room and play computer games all day, the reality is that you're not going to make it very far in life. Social skills are key to everything that you could ever want, and you don't have to be a master at them by age 30. But you should have enough experience to be able to handle all of the basic social situations that you will come across on a daily basis. Now, if you ever want a girlfriend, or you just want to meet up with women you find attractive, social skills are going to be key to these endeavors. And like anything else in life, social skills are learned primarily through experience, meaning you have to get out there and you have to put the work in. Anything that you want to get good at, you have to gain experience in over time. Something that they don't teach you in school is that our entire society is actually run by humans even at the highest level. And since we are all human, we all have flaws and we all have emotions and we all have desires. And we all can be influenced by a man who knows what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. And the more that you improve your social skills, the more that you can bend the rules and make things go your way, even when theoretically they aren't supposed to. Guys with great social skills can regularly get out of speeding tickets, and they happen to be really good at getting girls to feel excitement towards them, along with being able to do a variety of other really incredible things. These are 4 things that all men should have conquered by the age of 30, and the more that you are able to conquer these things, the more that your life will change for the better. Guys are always asking, what is the one thing I can do to become a better catch, not realizing that things like attraction are not taken in isolation. When one person is looking at another person and trying to calculate the value of that person, such as during an interview, what the observer is looking at is many things in combination with each other. So a man's total value is not determined by one single thing, such as his physical looks or how much money that he has. It is determined by what he has to offer as a whole. It's the entire package that is taken into consideration. So having conquered these 4 things by the age of 30, your entire package, so to speak, will be much better than another version of yourself that has, for example, conquered none of these things. So with that said, until next time, thanks for watching.